Our show is all about what it might take to jumpstart the New Mexico economy.
We'll look at some high-tech startups
and some foreign-born businesses and the challenges they face.
And how newfangled houses just might power up the economy. I'm Brenna Kelley.
And I'm Catherine Farmer, and this is UNM News. What is a startup? And maybe even more difficult, what is a high-tech startup? And will that be the economic spark that reignites the economy of New Mexico? Will the New Mexico economy be dominated by companies like optics and photonics manufacturer LightPath Technologies that started here in Albuquerque with just a couple of employees and now has nearly 200 employees? Although LightPath started here more than a decade ago, it moved its headquarters to Florida and much of its manufacturing to China. Or companies like Vibrant Corporation, that was started by a local, homegrown entrepreneur and has stayed put, the wave of New Mexico's future. Another entrepreneur who hopes to make it here is Stephen Myers, one of the two founders of Skinfrared LLC. Skinfrared's a one-employee startup that's focusing on developing infrared technologies for health devices.
Something that we've been concentrating on is medical applications. We have in the past had a project going with the UNM dermatology clinic where we would actually use a infrared camera to image skin lesions of patients that were coming in for a biopsy to determine if their skin lesion was cancerous or not. But we are getting to the phase where we're wanting to start pushing the development of a commercial product that we could actually sell and not just rely on research grants.
R&D phase companies like Skinfrared just might make New Mexico's economy much stronger in 10 or 20 years.
That's what happened decades ago in places like Boston and Silicon Valley. And in Albuquerque, a local group centered on the creative process of game creation is making strides to provide a hub for aspiring and veteran game developers. Kevin Maestas has the story.
Independent game developers like Ryan Leonski founded the Albuquerque Game Developers Guild, or AGDG, in 2014 to advance the business and art of gaming.
And what we're here for is to make games in Albuquerque. We see the power and the potential in the business, education, and culture of games, and we are just a passionate group of people who just want to be part of it and create it.
By day, Leonski writes interactive software for IDM, a cutting-edge Corrales company that makes touchscreen environments and video tables, and that fits nicely with his passion for video games, a pastime he's been working on since he was a boy.
So I started when I was 12. But I was always drawn to games more, and it was because I was just playing them so much as a kid. My favorite game was Legend of Zelda.
Now, as a professional programmer, Leonski co-owns and operates a game development studio, Subliminal Gaming. He does the programming, and his fiancée Shondine Woodward does the design.
And we created 3 games so far, one for Xbox 360, one for iOS and mobile called OMFG, and our latest release, Sky Pets, which just came out in October of 2015 for iOS and Android, where you get to create your own pet and have it plummet through the sky to save the stars that fell from space.
Subliminal Gaming's next independent endeavor is an indie title named Knit Warriors, a competitive multiplayer game about knitting. Even though a departure from previous titles, the local studio is taking on the challenge of developing new experiences on new platforms with innovative new technologies.
I've always been interested in this kind of asymmetric type of idea to gameplay and tapping into the world via touch and different control schemes, and I'm really into motion controls and things like that as well.
Leonski wants AGDG to help others like him to share their creative talents.
We're looking for more artists to come, more musicians, writers, business people. We are always looking for more developers, gamers in general, just those who are really interested in the craft of game development and that, everything that surrounds it. The coolest place to be on Tuesday nights is at the Albuquerque Game Developers Guild.
This is Kevin Maestas reporting.
I'd like to welcome Kevin Maestas onto our show today. How are you doing today, Kevin?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, so how did you get involved with the gaming community?
By being a gamer, first off, but also I'm a member of the local games lab on UNM's campus, and we're a group focused about just chatting, critiquing, and most definitely just playing games.
Okay, so what kind of games are they creating right now?
So AGDG, I met this group through a symposium that we have every year with the local games lounge. And AGDG, they produce games from interactive experiences on your phone, like through touch interfaces, iPhones, Android phones, home consoles, home computers. There's also a project going on right now where they're creating a arcade cabinet, and they're actually going to be developing games for that cabinet to actually have at the Game Developers Guild.
Okay, is there a particular game that they've developed that you like the most?
Definitely. There's a unconventional game that a gentleman named Michael Deitcher makes, and it's called Colorbots, and they're actually robots. And he created a level that he wants to create, or he's creating more levels for this game, Colorbots. And this particular level that he has out right now, it's called the Test of the Tower of Time. And what you have to do is drive these robots up ramps and try to make sure that you stay on top of these towers and not fall off, and basically test yourself on the Tower of Time.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Kevin.
But high tech isn't the only type of business that could make or break our future economy. Immigrants from businesses at much higher rates than native-born citizens. But in the case of immigrants, their businesses can be either very high-tech or very low-tech. Viridiana Vasquez reports that foreign-born entrepreneurs can get help to overcome the challenges of starting a business.
It was very difficult for me to come to the U.S. because I had my entire life formed in Mexico. But when I was left on my own out there, I had no other choice but to come meet my family out here.
Owner of Sweet Art Cake Decorating Supplies, Marta Patricia Muñoz Avila moved to New Mexico over 20 years ago and just recently opened her cake decorating business.
I've been wanting to have a business all of my life, but the moment was never right. I started giving decorating classes in my house about 5 years ago in my living room. I would buy material for my students. I would call it my little store. But then it got to the point where we all didn't fit and people started requesting more and more stuff. That's when I decided to open a business. I needed something bigger.
Avila took some classes at the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce that showed people how to start their own businesses.
I wasn't getting encouraged to open my own business because I didn't know anything, not even how to start or anything. So they started giving us classes and telling us the steps we had to follow, that we had to do this, and that's how we started, by following their steps.
Avila says that she has been seeing many Hispanics start businesses, and that makes her proud. Although Avila is not a fluent English speaker, she says it has not been a barrier for her, just like it isn't for many other immigrants.
I have a lot of pride and a lot of joy because I have seen a lot of small businesses that are owned by Hispanics. We find Hispanic stores everywhere. We are growing.
Even though Avila's business just recently opened, she has plans of growing and making it bigger. Avila dreams of being able to hire another employee to teach her cake decorating classes one day. This is Viridiana Vasquez reporting.
Viridiana Vasquez joins us today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So could you tell me a little bit about these foreign-born entrepreneurs?
Yes, so currently 13% of the populations are from immigrants, and currently they are opening 30% of the new local businesses that we have, so that's double the rate.
Wow, that is a lot. So why do you think they're starting up these businesses?
Well, I think like most immigrants, they usually come to the United States to live the American dream, so I think it's just a lot easier to open a business here because they're getting a lot more help than in their other countries, like for example Mexico. Like if you don't have the money to open your own business, nobody's going to help you. You have to start it on your own, and here in the United States you get a lot of help. They teach you how to open your own business, they help you in steps of setting up your own business, and for Marta they helped her economically too.
And could you tell me a little bit about these cake decorating classes?
Yeah, so currently she opened her business and she teaches 3 different types of cake decorating classes. She teaches a beginning, the middle, and the harder class. So she teaches it 3 days out of the week, and she teaches it for like an hour. So each class is an hour, and it's 3 days out of the week. And when you finish the first class, you go into the next one and then the third one. And she teaches you like different things how to do with the cakes, like from beginning steps to harder steps.
Mm-hmm. And did she have trouble adjusting to the English side of business?
Well, she's not a fluent speaker, so she says she didn't have that much trouble because she has family members helping her that do speak English. So she says that she has a little trouble when she doesn't completely understand something, but other than that, she hasn't had that much trouble with not being able to speak fluent English.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
For having me.
Sustainability and recycling are certainly going to be crucial to any new New Mexico economy. John Acosta reports on how Earthship Biotecture Academy teaches students how to build radically sustainable homes, made with both natural and recycled materials.
So what we're trying to accomplish is educating people from all over the world that they don't need to be tied into any system. They can have their freedom and live as healthy as anybody ever could.
And for Schaefer, healthy and free means sustainable.
Earthships actually are one of the few housing types that actually enhance the environment, whereas conventional homes require a support system. They send, raw sewage and toxins back into the grid and for somebody else to, treat and deal with it. Earthships actually incorporate its own environment for its own heating and cooling needs, all natural, no fossil fuels, rainwater harvest from the sky, where we capture it, we filter it, we reuse it 5 times, we produce our own food.
The Earthship Academy also provides optional housing at Earthships for students enrolled in the program. Students like David Blanchet, who decide to stay at the Earthships, get the real-life experience of living in one.
My room? It's the greatest room in that place. It's the nicest one. I got that balcony up there, and that's actually none of the floors in Eve now are finished. So it's basically like dusty and dirty, but my room has a wooden floor and a carpet, a nice carpet.
The academy lasts 4 weeks, 6 days a week. 3 days are at school and 3 days are in the field constructing projects. Schaefer says that upon finishing the program, students have the necessary tools to build the off-the-grid homes, but they must work hard to accomplish that goal.
At the end of 30 days, I would love to say yes. They'll have enough knowledge, they'll have enough experience. It's a matter of their drive. Do you have the will to break free of a very powerful force? Because it does take a huge effort to really, take the risk and, go out and just be your own person, develop your own independence. And then once you've made that commitment to yourself, then the information that we've given to you, and as a graduate of the Academy program, you have the ongoing support of all Academy students and all future R&D. Research and development is always available to Academy graduates. You are part of the overall family that we've developed even back in 2011. We still have contact with our very first group of students, and so will the current students.
Schaefer would like to see more people get involved in this program so that they too could live more sustainably and autonomously. This is John Acosta reporting.
Sounds like New Mexico's creative economy is definitely growing.
Yeah, there's everything from high-tech businesses to recycled houses.
I'm Brenna Kelley.
And I'm Catherine Farmer.
Thank you for joining us on UNM News.